It is unnecessarily hot today.
So the other night I was on my way to the Werewolves full moon bike ride. It was something I've been really looking forward to, and on the way to the full moon bike ride I got a flat and was kind of just out of luck in the middle of downtown San Diego. So luckily I called my roommate Durand and he come and scooped me up. On the way home we had this conversation where he was really surprised how far that people could bike. And he was surprised that people would ride 10 to 15 miles out away from home just to even get to a ride. And for me, this is something normal because I don't have a car and I use my bike for my transportation needs. So today, let's talk about why I don't need a car. Now, I don't own a car, I have never owned a car, and in the foreseeable future, I do not see myself having a need for a car. And that's because my bike fulfills all the same needs that a car would. And because those needs are met, I don't need a car, because that's how needs work. You get it fulfilled and then you don't need the other thing. First, let's take a look at the needs that my bicycle meets. And second, let's take a look at how exactly I'm able to get by without a car and what other factors are enabling me to use the bicycle as my main form of transportation. So my bike takes care of my needs for my transportation within the city. I live in San Diego, and because of that, I'm able to get by with my bike. My commute really isn't all that long, and it's probably about a 1 mile commute, if that. So I actually don't even use my bike for my daily commute. But if I did need to use it for my daily commute, I would. And I would be comfortable with doing a commute that would be 30 to 40 miles round trip, no problem. And back when I lived in the suburbs of Sacramento, California, I did commute on my bike, which was about 8 miles round trip. Another transportation need that my bike satisfies is the needs to get groceries and to run some errands. And because I live in San Diego, California, which is an urban area, things are pretty much everything I need within a 20-mile radius. And because of that, I don't really need a car. I don't need to go far to get something that I need. My bike takes care of my weekly to bi-monthly grocery runs, and it also takes care of my needs to just get to places and to meet people. And that's because in San Diego, pretty much everything that you would need is within that 20-mile radius. So because I don't need to commute out of town or long distances or ever really go super far distances all that often, I don't need a car, and the bike satisfies most of my transportation needs. But that's not to say that the bike satisfies all of my transportation needs. If I need to travel between cities, say I need to go to LA or to Sacramento or to San Francisco, then I could take a train or a plane. But because I don't have to do that all too often, I can afford those expenses to take that public form of transportation. And because of my circumstances, I am very thankful that I can use my bike, which is just a whole lot of fun to use as a form of transportation for me. As I stated before, everything is within about a 20-mile radius, which is comfortably within reach for a bike. But for a lot of people, especially if you're new to cycling or if you're not even into cycling at all, that seems like a whole lot of biking, 40 miles round trip if you just need to get something done. Now, of course, the bicycle is not as convenient as driving a car. So with that in mind, let's go into the mindset that you need to have when you're using your bike as your main form of transportation. Now, when I'm using my bicycle as my main form of transportation, I do not compare it to travel time with a car whatsoever, because it's not really a fair comparison. You're comparing 20 pounds of steel tubing to 2,000-pound machine that runs on an internal combustion engine, etc., etc. So it's not really a fair comparison. So the mindset that I have, because I'm taking much more time to travel and to get to where I need to go via bike, is that I just genuinely like biking, and no matter what the distance is, well, as long as it's within reason to what I need to get done, and if I could do that within the amount of time that I have, as long as it's within those reasonable boundaries, I am more than happy to hop on my bike and to go to where I need to go. Because for me, biking is just genuinely fun. And if I could hop on my bike for transportation, it makes my day just a little bit better because I'm just genuinely having fun if I'm on my bike. A lot of people, like my roommate, think I'm crazy if for riding my bike and using it for transportation all these distances. He's constantly offering to give me rides to the grocery store, but I tell him, you know what? I just like biking, and it's as simple as that. And because of that fact, I am able to use it as my main form of transportation. Again, because the bike isn't nearly as convenient as the automobile. I don't know why I became like 1920s right there. I bet they didn't even talk like that in the 1920s. Now I'm going on a tangent. If you want to use the bicycle as your main form of transportation, you really need to have this mindset that you're going to need to plan. And planning includes route planning, food planning, time planning, sweat, and looking presentable planning. And so you have to plan a lot. It's not something that you could just hop on your bike and go. A lot of times, especially if it's longer distances, you're going to have to take those things into consideration if you're going to want to use your bike as a source of transportation. So to recap, just because of who I am as a cyclist, because I love cycling so much, combined with the fact that I live in an urban area where everything that I could possibly need is within reach from a bicycle, I just don't need a car, and I don't see myself needing a car unless the circumstances of my life drastically changes. So I've really redefined for myself what I can do with the bicycle, and I'm always improving myself as a rider and expanding that comfort zone up to where I can ride comfortably. Because the way I look at the bike, it's something that is just genuinely fun, and it's something that really pushes you, well, I guess you push it, but the bike pushes you to become a better rider and to always constantly better yourself as a rider. And when you push yourself, you might even surprise yourself at what you can accomplish. For me, within my circle of friends and family, a lot of them think that I'm really crazy for using the bike as my main source of transportation. And that's because we're coming from completely different frames of mind. They're coming from a place where bicycling is meant for recreation and weekend rides, where I'm coming from a place where cycling is a way for me to relieve stress, to have fun, and to really just get to where I need to go. It's a form of transportation. And because we have those different frames of minds, it looks like I'm crazy, but it's actually not all that hard. And this is why I don't need a car. If you're interested in learning more about the car-free life, I say life like it's a big deal, but it's not. If you're interested in that, check out the Bike Free Living forum on bikeforums.net. And there's a lot of interesting discussion that's constantly happening about living car-free and the pros and cons and how to overcome the obstacles of living car-free. Heck, there's even a thread on there that's about car-free dating and the implications behind not having a car when you're going on a date. So for me, just out of curiosity, how many of you out there do not own a car and use the bike as your main form of transportation? Let me know in the comments below. And let's just get a discussion going on in the comments, and I will see you all in the next video.